Hey guys, Sam here from Speedline Technology. Today I'm going to be doing a review on the Vodafone Smart Mini. So let's get into this. So first of all, I'd just like to say thanks to Vodafone for sending this product out for a review. And that's what I'm going to be doing today, reviewing it. If you haven't already seen it, if you go over to my channel now, I did upload an unboxing of this video yesterday, this phone yesterday, and to show you what was in the box. But let's get started into the review. So the Vodafone Smart Mini runs on Android 4.1 Jelly Bean. It has a 2 megapixel camera, Wi-Fi capabilities, Bluetooth, browsing, email, apps and multimedia. It comes in black, pink and white, and as you can see right here on the table I have the black version. So I'll be showing you a little bit about this phone on the outside before I get into the specs and the inside of the phone. So if I just focus, you can see that there's the little camera. It doesn't have a flash, and there's only one camera in the phone, and this is the back camera. There is no front facing camera. And yes, 2 megapixels like I just said. Also, here's the loudspeaker for listening to music or watching videos. It has the Vodafone logo in the middle of the back plate, and down the bottom it says with Google trademark. On the top of the front of the phone, you can see that there's a speaker. This speaker is used for talking on the phone, in private conversations if you're not on loudspeaker. Also, you can't really see it, but inside here there's a little LED which flashes when you have a notification, and it flashes blue, but if you have the right app you can change that colour most probably. Down the bottom of the phone, you can see that we have 3 buttons right here: back, home and recent apps. But if I turn on the phone, you'll see that these buttons do not actually light up. They are just grey outlines on the device. So if you're using the phone in the dark, you have to know where the buttons are. They don't light up to help you see them. Also, you might just be able to see there's a little tiny mic right there on the edge, which is used for speaking on the phone, speaking on Skype and recording videos. So moving on to the left hand side, you can see that on the top of the left hand side we do have the volume buttons. These used for turning up and down the volume, of course, and down the bottom we have the basic micro USB charging port. On the right hand side we have nothing at all, it's all blank. On the top we have the lock screen button, the lock button, and the headphone jack, which is, I think it's 3.5mm. Yeah, I would assume so. It's a pretty modern phone. And on the bottom we have nothing. So I'm going to take the back plate off so you can actually have a look at the battery and the SIM card inside really quick. Let me just do this. You just simply put your nail in there and pull it off. Oops, like that. As you can see, this is an Alcatel One Touch TLIO14A1 battery. It's 1400 milliamps, which is 5.18 watt hours, and it's quite a big battery, to be honest, which is a bit of a downside considering most batteries in newer phones are smaller these days. If we take the battery out though, you can see that we have the SIM card underneath, right there, and it's a large size SIM card, which are pretty outdated now. Most phones have mini and nano SIM cards. Also, there's a micro USB slot which you can use right there, and there's some details under my finger which I'm covering, by the way. Right, so let's just put this battery back in. If I can remember which way it goes. Oops. Goes in like this, and then you just simply click the back on, like that. And there we go. So now let's actually get into some of the things I found out about this phone, as I've been using it for the past week. So moving on to the actual phone, The startup process, which is happening right now, takes quite a long time, longer than 30 seconds actually. It doesn't have much of a quick boot. And on the initial setup process, there is a little bit of lag. And the keyboard is pretty small as well, which caused me to have some problems typing in my password and username to log into my Google account. So if I just open up the phone right here and open up messages, as you can see there's a little bit of lag. This is most probably because I've just switched it on. Usually there isn't this much lag though. Right, as you can see on screen right now, that is the on-screen keyboard which I was just talking about. It is quite fiddly to use because the keyboard is pretty small, mainly because the screen size is pretty small, but that can't be helped, and I did have trouble at first getting used to it. I was pressing all the wrong keys, but after a while I did get used to the keyboard and I didn't have much trouble with it at all. So that is actually a pretty good keyboard. It does have all the numbers, and I believe it has all these extra keys as well, which come in most Android phones nowadays. All the useful ones like the alternative currencies and the trademark and copyright signs. After the setup, it does show a short startup tutorial, which is very useful actually. It's not exactly useful for me because I'm used to Android phones, but people who have never used Android phones and need to get to know the phone, it's actually really useful. The speaker quality, surprisingly, for such a low budget phone, the speaker when talking on the phone is very good, and apparently the mic is too, because the person who I was talking to on the phone could understand me very clearly in different situations. Because the phone has been made with Google, the Contacts app is called People and the SMS messaging app is called Messaging, unlike some other Android phones these days. The screen is actually quite small, considering the phone is actually quite large in height. As you can see, this is where the screen ends. You can see it better now the screen's gone off, but you can see there's a lot of this plastic part here, which is kind of unnecessary, but it might be important for the stuff they've used inside the phone, but I'm not too sure about that. Unfortunately, I was unable to test the 3G internet on this phone because in my area I'm getting an edge signal with Vodafone. I found it quite difficult to type fast on the phone as well at first, but after a while I could actually send text quite quickly. Also, when you're calling a number, it does show the location as well, which is pretty good. And if we go into the calling app, as you can see, the numbers are very big and easy to see and use, so it's great for people who have bad eyes, I guess. But it just looks nice overall. I do like the blue colour. Using the built-in video wallpapers, the phone surprisingly performed very well. It didn't lag much at all. The microphone is placed at the bottom of the phone, as I showed you earlier, right there, which is probably better for sound quality, because if it's underneath it can't always pick up the same sound quality. The touch buttons are pretty nice, but they don't light up, as I said earlier, which isn't really a problem. Unfortunately, there is no timer or stopwatch function built in, but the easy solution for this is installing an app. The design of the phone kind of reminds me of the Sony Xperia series. The built-in speakers provide some great sound quality when playing music or YouTube videos. And talking about streaming YouTube videos and BBC iPlayer, it performs very well, actually. There was no real lag, and streaming is great on the phone. It's really good, actually. I did try it out multiple times. Games like Cut the Rope and Angry Birds do also perform very well. Cut the Rope does come pre-installed, which I'll show you right now. As you can see, there's a little bit of lag on the loading screen, but that is quite expected. But as you can see, on the actual game itself, there is no lag. So I'll just complete this level to show you. I've already messed that one up. There we go. As you can see, there was hardly any lag at all while playing that game, which is really good. And it means you can actually play games on there without getting the frustration of lag all the time. The camera does not have much of a function focus, and it doesn't produce very good quality photos, but this is probably due to the fact that the camera is 2 megapixels. On screen right now you should be able to see some test pictures I did take while using the phone. Although the phone is very plasticky, it fits perfectly in your hand, as you can see. The edges of the phone are quite thick, but they feel very smooth and nice, meaning pressing the lock button or the volume keys feel good to touch. After only 2 days of use, the phone grew on me, and I actually enjoyed using it on a daily basis. Also, by now, I could use the keyboard without making spelling mistakes in every word. The battery lasted just over a day on medium usage. Overall, this phone is probably the perfect phone for people who just want a basic phone that has internet access. For the price of £50, it's great, and I would recommend it to anyone who doesn't want to spend over £100 on a phone that they aren't going to use heavily. Anyway guys, thanks for watching this video. If you'd like to buy the phone from Vodafone, there will be a link in the description below. As of today, which is the 22nd of December 2013, the phone is £50 on pay-as-you-go from Vodafone. So anyway guys, thanks for watching this video, and thanks to Vodafone for sending out this product for review, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.